It's now time for a KBRF video sports streaming presentation. Today's game is brought to you by the Minnesota Motor Company and your Minnesota Motor Company halftime show. Lake Region Healthcare and your Lake Region Healthcare timeout. Park Region and your Park Region scoreboard. Nelson Auto Center and your Nelson starting lineups. Quality Toyota and your Quality Toyota player of the game. The Viking Cafe and the Viking Cafe keys to the game. Orthopedic Sports and Physical Therapies Incorporated. Fergus Falls Monument. Otter Tail Coaches. Fresh and Fancy at Mamashina's. FM Bank. Service Food. Ugsted Plumbing and Heating. Splash Express. American Legion Post number 30 of Fergus Falls. Lake Country Graphics. LB Homes. And by Running Stitches Embroidery. Now let's head out for the pregame.
It's time for some Otter hockey tonight on AM 1250 KBRF. And again, the Otters boys opening their home schedule here following their 7-1 win last Saturday against Marshall. And so a good opportunity to play a good Minneapolis team tonight. My game site engineer is Dave Bishop. And I'm Mark Johnson. Again, thanks for tuning in. Again, the Otters are 1-0. They're coming off that 7-1 win over Marshall down at Red Baron Arena last Saturday. And the Minneapolis Hockey Club, they don't have a nickname. It's just the Minneapolis Hockey Club. They are 1-0, and they beat Mankato East by a score of 9-1. They outshot Mankato East 43-13 in that one. They had a big performance out of Ryan Mullen. Their sophomore right wing, he had 5 points. He had 4 goals and 1 assist. But it's going to be fun to see the Otters on their home ice. And again, this is a young Otter team that brings back some experience on the blue line, some up front. But they do have Holden Stenstrom in goal, and he's a key piece to this Otter hockey team, being a senior goaltender. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll hear from Otter head coach Mike Donahue.
Need custom tees, hats, or uniforms? Let Lake Country Graphics bring your brand to life with top-quality screen printing and embroidery. Located on North Union Avenue in Fergus Falls. Call 998-4027 today.
Lake Region Healthcare joins you in shouting loud, cheering strong, and jumping for joy. Keeping our community healthy and spirited is the top priority at Lake Region Healthcare.
It's time to replace your old furnace. That old one has been a drain on your energy bill for far too long. Let Ugsted Plumbing and Heating replace your old inefficient furnace with a new carrier system and help you and your checkbook rest easy. Ugsted Plumbing and Heating, Fergus Falls.
Hi, I'm Heather Hickman, Executive Director for LB Homes in Fergus Falls. Seasons may change, but one truth remains: our compassionate, Christ-centered care at LB Browen Home. For over a century, we have served as His hands and feet. Every resident is welcomed as family, embraced with the dignity and kindness that Christ calls us to share. So whether you are seeking peace of mind or a trusted home for a loved one, you'll find it here. LB Browen Home, rooted in faith, serving with compassion, trusted for generations.
Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's has a way better option than some overprocessed junk from the back of your freezer. They've got take and bake meals made fresh with real ingredients, and all you have to do is stick it in the oven. Fresh and Fancy, saving moms one dinner at a time.
For over 50 years, Otter Tail Coaches has safely carried kids to school, to games, and back home again. Trusted by generations, they're proud to serve Fergus Falls and the surrounding area. Otter Tail Coaches, safety, service, and dependability.
What's your number?
We've driven 57 miles to Quality Toyota to get a great deal, and we've done it 13 times.
Quality Toyota.
It's Otter hockey tonight on Channel 977, also streamed on the Fergus Now app and the KBRF Radio YouTube channel. I'm joined by head coach Mike Donahue of the Otters. And Mike, our first home game following that nice win over Marshall 7-1, but it's great to get this season going, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It was, fun to finally get on the road and play a game. I think especially with kind of a young team, when you look at our lineup, it was good to, I think, get on the bus and able to follow that up with was hoping for a full week of practice, but Mother Nature thought otherwise. But then a good little Thanksgiving week and then be able to have a good fun home game tonight.
No, the 7-1 win over Marshall. Let's talk about that game a little bit. Like you say, we have a very young lineup, but credit Holden Stenstrom in those first 10 minutes and to have that senior leadership, just kind of to help guys get settled in. And he made some nice saves to start the game.
Yeah, we for sure needed that, and that's what experience does for you. So it was nice, calming to have him back there where, and we're gripping the stick a little bit, trying to get to the pace of the game. He was there to bail us out, and then as we kind of found our feet and found our game a little bit, we were able to right the ship.
Big adjustment for guys coming in, you know what I mean? And one thing I noticed in the game, Mike, that second period and then going on to that, the confidence kind of built. And I know you probably sent a message to it. Doesn't matter now, we're playing hockey, but we really came out and played those last two periods.
Yeah, and it's a matter of, I think these kids have some really good hockey sense, and they're able to make plays. They just have to know when and how to do it, and then the time to make plays and the time to play with structure, I think, is going to kind of be the feeling point. And then as we can kind of to blend those two things, and that'll help, I think, kind of start to form our identity.
Another thing that I observed too is scoring from all three lines and having, some depth, and guys really played hard, and it's got to be encouraging to see even in that first game.
Yeah, it's every night you're going to have to show up and play like that. You look at, we lost a ton of scoring from last year's team, so I think as you look at what we had returning, and hopefully anytime you can have scoring by committee and everybody contributing, that sure bolsters the confidence, like you had mentioned, and gets all guys fired up for each other.
Now, Minneapolis, a team we've never played, I believe. And I was talking to the coaches. They don't have a nickname. They're the Minneapolis Hockey Club. About 5-6 schools coming together. But how'd they get on the schedule, and what do you know about Minneapolis?
Well, just with, the changes at the high school league with when they realigned for Class A and AA, and we're looking for a team or a game. They're looking for a game. And, it really worked out, I think, well for us with the timing for them. And when we needed this game, we didn't have a game scheduled for this week. So they were able to fit them in and get a good week of practice. 2 good weeks, or a good week of practice, play Marshall, get another week, and then hopefully see if there's any corrections and things that we're able to do from the Marshall game to hopefully just look at some improvements tonight.
Lastly, I'd be remiss. We got some new drip, or like the kids say, we got some new threads. Swag. But it's kind of neat to see, though. I know the kids are excited about it, but tell me about how that went down.
Well, I don't know. It does create a lot of excitement, and anytime you can get a little new look to the program, I think is kind of fun and exciting. And part of it with the school adopting the maroon and gold colors, and our previous ones were maroon and Vegas gold for a number of years, and we needed to update the uniform. So here we are.
Mm-hmm. It was kind of fun. Well, Mike, let's have a good one tonight. And I know we're going to miss a couple players too. With Parker out, and then also with Coulter, yeah.
And Jared Kennedy out, yeah. So, and just some pretty extensive injuries, I think, that we looked at to start the season. I don't remember ever starting a year with some extensive injuries like we've sustained early on. So, hopefully those guys their spirits are just remarkable, and the way that they show up every day, and they're still helping the team out, and they're around the guys. So, just hoping and praying for a speedy recovery for all of them.
All right, let's have a good one, Mike.
All right, thanks, Mark.
Mike Donahue, head coach of the Otters, come back after this break.
The 2025 model year closeout pricing has arrived at Minnesota Motor Company in Fergus Falls. They have just a handful of new 2025 Chevy and Buick vehicles remaining, and all of them are at their lowest prices of the year. From the Chevy Blazer to the Buick Enclave, you won't want to miss out on these great deals. Contact the sales team for more information.
Minnesota Motor.
South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
High School Hall of Fame. In 2016, Raj was presented with the prestigious Don Clark Award, presented by Minnesota Hockey to an individual who over the period of many years has been dedicated to the grassroots growth and development of youth hockey in Minnesota. Like most hockey players growing up in Minnesota, Johnson dreamed of being in the Minnesota State High School hockey tournament during his high school career and came ever so close his senior year, falling one game short in the playoffs. In February of 1997, his dream reaching the state tournament finally came true. The Fergus Falls boys hockey team defeated Little Falls 3-0 for their first section title in school history. Little did it be known the team's win would start a stretch of 7 consecutive section titles in state tournament appearance from 1997 to 2003, and Johnson was able to join the team and help coach on most of those trips to St. Paul. While his coaching days are now done, Raj has continued to stay involved with hockey in Fergus Falls by watching his 3 grandsons play youth and high school hockey for the Otters. Raj has instilled a passion for the game in countless Otters and has been tireless ambassador for hockey in Fergus Falls for 55 years. On September 30th, 2025, Roger was inducted into the Minnesota Hockey Coaches Association Hall of Fame at the Minnesota Wild game. Presenting him with that award tonight are his grandsons, Owen, Griffin, and Keaton Babolian. On behalf of the Fergus Falls hockey community, we'd like to thank you for your dedication to Otter hockey. Thanks and congratulations, Raj.
Standing ovation. What an awesome honor for Roger Johnson. Those who've been around Fergus hockey for a long time know he was here when it started, and he's now in the Minnesota Coaches Hall of Fame. And again, is Keaton, who's a sophomore, and then Griffin and Owen, grandsons, are handing him that plaque. So a pretty exciting time. It's now time for the Nelson Auto Center starting lineups, brought to you by Nelson Auto Center, Highway 210 West in Fergus Falls. For the Minneapolis Hockey Club, in goal will be Oliver Thielen. He stopped 12 of 13 against Mankato East. At 1D will be Wilson Lamberty, and he is a sophomore. And then junior, number 38, Owen Christensen. Up front, centering the first line will be Milo Black. He has 3 assists on the year as a senior. The left side will be Will Ackerman, and he has 1 goal and 1 assist on the year. He is a junior. And on the right side, sophomore and the leading scorer with 5 points, 4 goals and 1 assist against Mankato East is Ryan Mullen. Chris Grassel is the head coach. For the Fergus Falls Otters, they'll go like this. In goal will be Holden Stenstrom, senior, one of the captains on this Otter team. He stopped 16 of 17 shots in that win over Marshall last Saturday. In one defense, Tanner Donahue. Donahue has a goal and an assist thus far on the season. And then Brody Crine. Brody is a junior, and Brody paired up, and he has 1 assist thus far in the season. Centering the first line will be sophomore Luke Johnson. He has 2 goals. He had 2 goals against Marshall. On the right side, Quinn Wynn Sheldon. He had 3 points, 1 goal, and 2 assists. And on the left side, Caden Zender, and Zender had the playmaker against Marshall, 3 assists. Mike Donahue is the head coach of the Otters. And so a first opportunity to look at the Otters in their home uniforms, and a great crowd here tonight for this one. We are looking forward to it. Those are your Nelson Auto Center starting lineups. We'll pause for a break, and we'll come back with a puck drop here on AM 1250 KBRF, also streaming on the Fergus Now app and on the KBRF Radio YouTube channel.
Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls is proud to sponsor area athletics. Nelson Auto knows the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls.
Looking to buy, build, or refinance? Trust Alicia Helgeson at FM Bank in Fergus Falls. With expert guidance and local know-how, she makes the mortgage process smooth and stress-free. Call Alicia or apply online at mybankfm.com today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
Every team has a home field advantage. Make yours the internet from Park Region. With speeds that keep up with the pace of the game and the reliability to never miss a play, you'll always be connected. Get the internet that's always in your corner. Park Region, your home team's internet advantage.
What's your number?
We drove 5.2 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
I drove 7 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
Lake Region Healthcare is proud to be trusted and recommended by parents and coaches, athletes, and families. Keeping healthcare close to home for local athletes and all their fans. Find us online at lrhc.org.
Need custom tees, hats, or uniforms? Let Lake Country Graphics bring your brand to life with top quality screen printing and embroidery. Located on North Union Avenue in Fergus Falls. Call 998-4027 today.
Hi, I'm Heather Hickman, Executive Director for LB Homes in Fergus Falls. Seasons may change, but one truth remains: our compassionate, Christ-centered care at LB Home. For over a century, we have served as His hands and feet. Every resident is welcomed as family, embraced with the dignity and kindness that Christ calls us to share. So whether you are seeking peace of mind or a trusted home for a loved one, you'll find it here. LB Home, rooted in faith, serving with compassion, trusted for generations.
Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's has a way better option than some overprocessed junk from the back of your freezer. They've got take and bake meals made fresh with real ingredients, and all you have to do is stick it in the oven. Fresh and Fancy, saving moms one dinner at a time.
All right, we're back. We're going to get this one going here. Thanks for tuning in tonight on KBRF and also streaming on the YouTube channel, KBRF Radio, and also on the Fergus Now app. Milo Black will take the draw here against Luke Johnson. The Otters are going to win the draw, and we're playing some hockey. The Otters with their new uniforms. Puck sent in. On the forecheck goes Caden Zender. Comes over on the near half wall. Minneapolis tries to trade out. It hops over the stick of Ryan Mullen. Played off the near half wall there. Minneapolis tries to hold the line. Tanner Donahue swings it to Brody Crine. He'll send it up along the boards, but it's picked off by the Minneapolis Hockey Club. Sent out to center ice, and now played in over the line. With it now comes the defenseman, Owen Christensen. He'll play it into the corner. Dropped into the corner to Mullen. Again, he had 4 goals and 1 assist against Mankato East. Comes out to the point. Quick shot there in traffic, and now it hit Tanner Donahue on the rebound. Stenstrom was a ways out of his goal, comes out to the point. Quick start here by Minneapolis. A shot saved by Stenstrom, and Holden controls the rebound and makes the save. So to start the game, a little push here by Minneapolis. And the Otters will change lines. And the Otter line combination tonight: Luke Johnson, Caden Zender, and Quinwin Sheldon. And out comes Hunter Welly, centering Nolan Wadle on the left and Bennett Tilke on the right. Off the face-off. Blocked there. Good job there by Wadle. He'll tap it in. Over the line, back into the corner. Tried to center it out front. Picked up by the Minneapolis defenseman. And up the left side, a quick skating and by the centerman, Owen Young, and an offsides call against Minneapolis. Third line for the Otters, Zach Pierce centering Colin Alt, who had a pair of goals against Marshall and Corbin Profit. And again, Simon McGovern, Drew Johnson, Noah Piccarini on the fourth line. Face-off, controlled by Minneapolis, sent into the near corner. Goes back into the near corner, battle for the puck. Down there, comes out to Wadle on the near side. Now to the point near side. Shot put on by Hain. Rebound attempt there. Scooped out of there nicely by the Otters. A big hit, though. Their Otters will change lines here. And on the attack comes Hain. Hain bumped off the puck by Brant Sherman. Good job by Brant. Puck picked up, though, by Murphy, the third-line centerman. And now it's picked up by Corbin Profit. Out to Colin Alt. Alt with a shot and a save made. Colin Alt with a 2-goal game against Marshall. And had a great game. Colin, a freshman. So this is a line of 2 sophomores in Zach Pierce and Corbin Profit. And Colin Alt, a freshman. Good start Face-off won by Minneapolis. They go D to D, picked up by Christensen. They reverse it, chips it out to the near side. They try to move it out and are successful, but it's kept in by Pierce. Otters do have to check back up here. Otters are back on side. Pierce will go on the forecheck. That's Zach going after it. Lost there off the stick there of Christensen. And the puck out to neutral, where it's picked up by sophomore Luke Johnson. He'll chip it over to Alt. Alt tried to center it. The Otters turn it over. Back the other direction comes Owen Christensen. Little hesitation move, tried to get around Tanner Donahue. Tanner sent him into the corner. Puck along the near half wall. Tanner Donahue will chip it out, and it's picked up here by Profit. Corbin will try to gain the line and get it deep. Otto's going to change. Caden Zender comes on. And puck picked up by Zender. Zender walks in, still with it. Tried to backhand pass there, the drop pass, and it's picked off. And here comes Christensen. He's hit hard there. There by Quinn Wynn-Sheldon. Quinn laying the lumber. And here's Brant Sherman with the puck now, trying to move it out to Zender. Hops over his stick, pops out to Luke Johnson. Here's Luke at neutral ice. Luke's going to gain the line. Bothered by Mullen. Drops it for Zender. There's a shot and a save made. So a good shot by Zender. The puck was standing on edge, and Zender got a shot off. And the save was made by Oliver Thielen. Oliver Thielen, he stopped all but one shots in that win over East, 12 of 13 against Mankato East. So Luke Johnson will take the draw here for the Otters against Black. Now they play it behind the net. Guston plays it out to neutral. Brant Sherman will hustle back after it. And we have an icing call here against Fergus Falls. An icing call against the Otters. The good thing about high school hockey is if you ice the puck, you can change lines. But in junior or college hockey or pro, a lot of times late in the game, a team will call a timeout because they're gassed. So Luke Johnson will take the draw here against Milo Black. No score. This game just underway. Here from Fergus Falls Community Ice Arena. And they're going to toss out the centerman Black. Draw goes into the corner, picked up defensively by Guston. Over to the near wing to Mullen. They try to stretch the ice. Now it pops out onto the stick of Will Ackerman. Ackerman up the left side, centering pass. Shot and a save made by, boy, a beauty there. Was off the stick of Milo Black. And a good job at time by Holden Stenstrom. You know, early in the season, especially last game with a young team, having a guy like Stenstrom make those big saves is really huge to kind of get us kind of in the rhythm of things. That was true against Marshall. Welly will take the face off here. So it's Welly, Wadle, and Tilke. Battle along the near half wall. Picked up by Minneapolis. Hunter sends it over to Tilke. Bennett absorbs a check along the wall. This is the fourth line out here, the fourth line for Minneapolis. Tanner Donahue takes a hit there from Anderson. Tanner battles in the corner along with Hunter Welly. Anderson picks it up. This is the fourth line for Minneapolis. They got a full bench over there. Comes out to the point, sent back in by Oliver Kutzer. Battle in the near corner. Escape there by Will Anderson. Gets it out to the point. Minneapolis with some zone time. Shot blocked by Tilke. Another shot through traffic. Good job by Bennett Tilke on the shot block. Minneapolis with a push here early on in the first period. Puck comes over to Nolan Wadle. Gives it to Hunter Welly. Hunter will send it to Brody Crine. Brody sauces it out to neutral. And Wadle will tap it, and no icing as it's caught up with there by Schroet. Now sent back into the Otter zone. A line change here as Corbin Profit, Cullen Alt, and Zach Pierce out on the ice for the Otters. Up at neutral ice, Chase Johnston, his first varsity action. He is a freshman as well. He was sick and not able to play the first few games. Chase Johnson with his first varsity game taps it back behind the net. Sent over the near boards, far boards, pardon me. Picked up by Profit. Minneapolis picks it off the half wall. They swing it out to the point. Shot there, Stenstrom with the save. Where's the puck? It's loose and a goal. Holden stopped it, but he didn't know where the puck was. And a goal for Minneapolis. Time of this goal comes at 5:08 of the period. So at 5:08, Minneapolis scores. And it is number 21, Bodie Hain, his first of the year. So Holden made the save, and he couldn't locate the puck, and it was tapped in by Minneapolis. So at 5:08, Minneapolis is on the board. Luke Johnson will take the draw here for the Otters. Puck on neutral ice. Assist going to number 37, Wilson Lamberty. Puck over the far boards, kept in by Krein. Shot, side of the net. Otters on the forecheck. Quinn Wynn-Sheldon and Luke Johnson picked up behind the goal and now moved out to neutral ice. With it is Owen Christensen. He'll send it back behind Stenstrom. Stenny will stop it there for Krein. Krein to Donahue. Donahue tried to get it over to Quinn Wynn-Sheldon. A little too far for him. And Minneapolis comes back the other direction, slapped out to neutral ice. Nobody home there. Otters will get a partial line change. Luke Johnson will go on the forecheck against Christensen. Pass to the near side to Cleason. In over the line. And an offsides call against Minneapolis. An offsides call against Minneapolis. So the Otters trail 1-0 here with 10:59 to play in the first period here on the Ottertail Telecom scoreboard. Face-off is right below us. Hunter Welly battling there with Milo Black. Minneapolis controls. Dumped in by Minneapolis, picked up by Bennett Tilke. Couldn't control it along the far boards, sent back in. Now Bennett will slap it out to neutral ice. Otters will hustle back after it. Here's Boyce with a puck. Bennett Tilke on the forecheck. Otters got to get their feet moving here. They play catch behind the net. They sauce it out, and that's going to be an icing call against Minneapolis as the pass was behind Ryan Mullen. Number 15, Mullen had 4 goals against Mankato East and an assist. And so the first line on the ice for Minneapolis here against the Otters' second line. Hunter Welly, Nolan Wadle, and Bennett Tilke. Defensively, Brody Krein and Tanner Donahue. Again, we have our Minnesota Motor period breaks coming up, brought to you by Minnesota Motor Company. Tomorrow morning, tune in. I'll be hosting the Coaches Show, brought to you by the Viking Cafe. 8 o'clock at AM 1250, also streamed on our YouTube channel and on the Fergus Now app. Minneapolis with a clean exit. Now to neutral ice with a puck now is Will Ackerman. Ackerman to center ice. Pass along the left side, shot there, and a blocker save made by Stenstrom. Minneapolis working along the near corner, trying for a dangle in the corner. There was Milo Black. Out to the point, picked back up by Ackerman. Ackerman with a quick shot. And the puck kept in by Minneapolis. Sauced along the near boards to Mullen. Mullen wears number 15. Still with the puck. Mullen behind the net. Out to the point it goes. And they couldn't hold the line there as it pops over Kutzer's stick. And on comes calling out Zach Pierce. Oh, there's a nice sauce pass, but they couldn't handle on the back door. Ackerman. Corbin Profit gets it out to neutral. Alt's going after it, along with Pierce. Now Mullen. Mullen over the line. Good job by Brant Sherman as he stands him up. Here's Brant. Going to gain the line. Sends one, and it's going to be tipped off of Milo Black's stick, and it goes up and out of play. So the faceoff will stay in the Otter offensive zone. Pierce will take the draw here against Anderson. So the fourth line of the Lake Minneapolis against the Otters' second line. Face-off one. Here's Brant Sherman. Sends one, and a glove save made as Thielen was moving to his left. And the face-off will be again to the blocker side of junior goaltender Oliver Thielen. And the Otters with their new white home uniforms. Maroon breezers. Otters going to lose the draw. It goes back behind the net. Owen Christensen plays over the wing to Hansen. Just about misplayed there. Puck out to neutral. Here comes Minneapolis. Over the line is Will Anderson. Centers it out front. Shot and a goal. Stenstrom to his left. He was kind of sliding away from the puck. And it's 2-0 Minneapolis on the rebound. First of the year for Judd Hansen. Time of this goal is 8:03 of the period. I think we'll see if 3 went through the line first, but we shall see. Yep, so 3 from 10, so the assist goes to Emmett Anderson. Draw at neutral ice. Otters going to win the draw. Here's Tanner Donahue. Tap it forward to Quinn Wynn Sheldon. Going to go on the forecheck. Minneapolis in their own end. And we're going to get an icing call here against Minneapolis as they try to stretch the ice. So 2-0 here early on. Shots on goal, 7 for Minneapolis and 3 for the Otters. And we're going to get a face-off in the Otter offensive zone. Luke Johnson will take the draw here against Owen DeYoung. So he was going to win the draw. The Otters do get a shot on, but it's chipped out of there by the D. Kept in by Zender. He'll slap it back in. Otters check up. They'll go on the forecheck. Thielen leaves it behind there for Christensen. Near side. Good pinch there by Donahue. Otters tap it. Quinn Wynn Sheldon will send in. Otters will check back up, but it's going to be offsides against Fergus Falls. So 2-0 Otters trail here. 8:21 to play here in the first period here on the Ottertail Telecom scoreboard. Johnson on the draw against DeYoung. Going to toss DeYoung out, and Bodie Hayne will come in and take the draw. And Minneapolis is going to win this one. Comes back to Lamberty. Lamberty goes D to Christensen. Up the near side. Now getting the line is Ortiz. Ortiz fan on the pass. Donahue rides him into the corner. Puck comes out to the far side, right in front of the Otter bench. A little regroup here for Minneapolis at neutral ice. Lamberty over the line. Tanner Donahue pins him up against the boards. Luke Johnson comes in to help. Luke will dig the puck out. Now to Caden Zender. Pass but not out. Tapped along the boards. Brody Crine a little too far for Quinn Wynn Sheldon. Hunter Welly is on. Here comes Nolan Wadle. Minneapolis the other direction. They lead it 2-0 here in the first period. 7:35 to go in the first period. Puck sent on in traffic. Otters trying to move it out. Wadle gets it out to Chase Johnson. Johnson got it to neutral ice. Now Bennett Tilke joins his line mates. Otters trail 2-0 here in the first period. Minneapolis sauces out to neutral. Picked off though. And just about played in by Welly as the Otters didn't get onside quite in time. 7:13 to play in the first period. And Otters trail by a score of 2-0 here on the Park Region telephone scoreboard. Battle for the puck on the faceoff, and it's going to be won here by Minneapolis. Battle behind the net. Good job by Bennett Tilke. Putting a hit on Jada Boys. Comes out to neutral ice. Brant Sherman will play it. No icing. After it offensively is Theo Gustin. Comes out to Brant Sherman. He'll send one. I missed left of the net. Karams over to the far boards. Welly tried to stand up a couple guys. Minneapolis plays it out now. Over the line now. With it now is Aaron Murphy. He'll dump it in and get off. And he'll ring the boards around to Wadle. Here's Nolan Wadle at neutral. Out to neutral ice. There you go, D to D. Luke Johnson is on. Puck comes out to neutral. Picked up by Brant Sherman. Brant will skate it up. Backhanded off the glass. Otters will go on the forecheck. And an icing call against Fergus Falls. Again, tomorrow we have Otter girls hockey as the Otters take on Minnesota River. If you're asking who that is, that's LeSueur Henderson, St. Peter, and company. That'll be a 3 o'clock puck drop, 2:45 pregame show. That'll be on AM 1250 KBRF and streamed as well. Johnson will take the draw here for the Otters. Otters going to win the draw. Here's Tanner Donahue behind his own net. And tried to get it out to Caden Zender, but it went up and out of play. And everybody's okay in the stands. Really a good crowd here tonight. It's full here. Full house here tonight at the Fergus Falls Community Ice Arena. Johnson will take the draw against Black. Face off to the glove side of Holden Stenstrom. Minneapolis leads it 2-0 on the Park Region scoreboard off the face-off. Donahue sends it forward. Drop pass to Zender. Zender has Luke Johnson through the slot. The pass was behind. Good play there by Quinn Wynn Sheldon. Otters keep the forecheck on. Comes out to the near side. And it's going to come out to neutral ice. Zender will pick it back up. He'll send it back in, but it's picked off. Here comes Ryan Mullen. Mullen through traffic. Zender with it now. Sends it forward. Right below us here. They go D to D. Puck at neutral. Donahue's going to pick it up. Tanner will send it behind the net. Try to get over to Crine. And Corbin Profit couldn't move it out of the zone. Crine in the corner. In comes Luke Johnson. He'll tie his man up. Luke and Crine working there. Luke taps it over to Brody. Brody with a puck. He'll ring the near boards. We get a line change. 9-4 shots in favor of Minneapolis. Drop pass. Minneapolis with a puck. Shot and a save made. That was a nice hard shot off the stick of Will Ackerman. There's a shot. Goes into the corner off of Stenstrom. And Minneapolis having their way right now with the Otters. Puck behind the net. Minneapolis with it. Here's Mullen. Mullen drops it behind the net to Black. Black to Ackerman. In comes Zach Pierce. Sends it over to the far side. Chase Johnson tries to move it out. In comes Zach Pierce. Puck is up on the dasher. Trying to get the puck off the dasher. Zach gets it out of there. Nope, it's kept in by Minneapolis. Minneapolis in traffic to the near side. Cullen Alt trying to get it to settle down. He'll circle it back, swings it out to neutral ice off the stick of Corbin Profit. We knew we'd see a stronger team than Marshall. Minneapolis, pretty good team. Cullen Alt, headman pass to Hunter Welly. Welly driven wide behind the net. Bumped off the puck there by Lamberty. And then Cullen Alt with a nice check where it's going to be a penalty here against the Otters, it looks like. So it'll be a penalty kill. Minneapolis goaltender Thielen is out of his net. 6 skaters out here for Minneapolis. Minneapolis at neutral. Puck picked up. And they blow the whistle. And a penalty here on the Fergus Falls Otters. Time of this penalty is going to be at 13:18 of the period. And Cullen Alt is called for the penalty for a roughing call. Much to the chagrin of head coach Mike Donahue. It looked like it was a good check, good hard hit, but they call a rough. Luke Johnson on the draw here along with Caden Zender and Brant Sherman and Chase Johnston. Minneapolis with a puck now. They send it out high to the near side. They were 0 for 3, I believe, in their power play opportunities against Mankato East. Behind the net, near side pass. Now they bring it out high to Christensen. One-timer, fanned on. And Brad Sherman will send it. And that's going to go up and out of play. And you really got to keep an eye on things here. Pucks are flying here tonight. That one went up and out of play. And so we'll get a face-off in the Otter zone. That one was up and out of play as Quinn Sheldon, Bennett Tilkey, Tanner Donahue, and Brody Crine come out here for Fergus Falls. Face-off won by Minneapolis. They'll play it out to Milo Black. Now to Ackerman. And he can't hold the line. It pops out to neutral ice. And here comes Milo Black at neutral. Minneapolis will gain the zone. Lamberty. Good play there. And just cleared it out of there. Good job by Brody Crine. Good stick on the poke check. Minute 6 left in the penalty to Cullen Alt. Oh, and here comes Minneapolis on the attack with a puck as Ackerman behind the net. Ackerman leaves it there for Mullen. Mullen in the near corner. He's a sophomore. He's a good one. And then Black couldn't hold the line once again. So a couple breaks there for Fergus Falls. Luke Johnson out on the PK. Poke checks it away. There's Luke with a puck down in the corner. Back behind the net. He'll just hold it along the boards. Keep battling down there. Caden Zender will come on as well. Puck kept in by Chase Johnson. Zender, Johnson, Johnston, and Brad Sherman. Good check by Chase Johnson. And he's a freshman. His first varsity action here as a defenseman for the Otters. Battling Zender, trying to move it out. Puck played, but it's going to be kept in by Black. Just keep your sticks on the ice, down in passing lanes. Out high, near side. With it now is Ackerman. Otters kill off the penalty. Otters are back at full strength. Shot on Stenstrom, and Holden makes the save. So the Otters kill the penalty off. And Hunter Welly, Nolan Wadel, and Bennett Tilke come out for Fergus Falls. 2-0 in favor of Minneapolis with 1:37 to play here in the first period. And here comes the face-off to the glove side of Holden Stenstrom. Face-off won by the Otters. Chase Johnson gets it to Brant Sherman. Brant carries it off the wall, but it's picked off there at center ice by Lamberty. Lamberty will carry it over. Centering pass, trying to find Hain. Hain with a puck. Plays it back down low. Good job by Welly. Brant Sherman trying to get it out to Tilke. Tilke clears it out, and Wadel is going to pick it up. Nolan will send it in. Nolan working in the corner, behind the net. Picked up by Minneapolis. Full head of steam here for Hain. Hain at neutral ice. Stood up there by Brant Sherman. Picked up now by Minneapolis out to the outside the blue line. And we get a offsides call. And again, the 52.2 seconds to go in the first period. Got some family listening in Raleigh, North Carolina. My sister-in-law Lisa and Trucker, Kyle, Danny Johnson and family, and Karen family. My nieces and nephews and great nieces and nephews and their families. So thanks for tuning in, you guys. We'll get a good result here, hopefully. My mom Laura also listening in the Cambridge area. And here comes Minneapolis. He'll gain the line. Shot there to save made by Stenstrom. As Wilson Lamberty put a shot on goal and Holden made the save. Great night for some hockey. Opening night here for Fergus Falls as Luke Johnson will take the draw here against Aaron Murphy. Luke had 2 goals against Marshall in the opening frame. Off the face-off, it's going to be won by the Otters. Brody Crine caroms it off to Wadel. Nolan Quinwin Sheldon tried to get ahead to Zender, who was stretching the ice on a design face-off play. Luke Johnson had it in his skates there. Puck pops out to neutral ice. Luke will tap it along the boards. Quinwin Sheldon tried to get out to Zender. Zender with a good stick. Puck out at neutral. Puck right below us. Minneapolis gains his own. Shot there tipped. Johnson got a stick on that. They center it back out front, and Luke will pick it up. And Luke will send it off the boards as the end of the first period of play. 2-0 Minneapolis. Fergus Falls with 13 shots on goal. Minneapolis 13. And Fergus Falls managing only 4 shots on goal in that first period. So, we will take a break, and we'll come back with our Minnesota Motor period break. Minnesota Motor Company is located on South Pebble Lake Road in Fergus Falls. 2-0 in favor of Minneapolis on the Park Region scoreboard. Park Region, service beyond the connection.
The Chevy Red Tag sales event has arrived at Minnesota Motor Company in Fergus Falls. You can take advantage of savings of up to $10,000 on the Chevy Silverado or great financing offers like 2.9% APR for 72 months. Contact the sales team at Minnesota Motor Company for details. Customer must take delivery by December 1st. Chevy, together, let's drive.
Minnesota Motor.
South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
Make OSPTI your choice for outpatient rehabilitation and sports injuries with locations in Fergus Falls and Breckenridge. Orthopedic and sports physical therapy is the right choice for your recovery. Live your best life. Trust the experts at OSPTI.
Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's has a way better option than some overprocessed junk from the back of your freezer. They've got take and bake meals made fresh with real ingredients, and all you have to do is stick it in the oven. Fresh and Fancy, saving moms one dinner at a time.
At Fergus Falls Monument Company, Ryan and Mike want you to design a personal memorial for your loved one that will fully express your personal sentiment and that of your loved one. Fergus Falls Monument on Pebble Lake Road, online, foreverstonememorials.com.
Between practices, games, and late-night drives, who's got time to grocery shop? With Instacart from Service Food in Fergus Falls, order online and your groceries are ready for delivery. So you can cheer louder, not shop longer. Service Food of Fergus Falls.
Need custom tees, hats, or uniforms? Let Lake Country Graphics bring your brand to life with top quality screen printing and embroidery. Located on North Union Avenue in Fergus Falls. Call 998-4027 today.
Here's to a great season for all our favorite high school athletes. American Legion is a favorite too and serves up everyone's favorite barbecued ribs. American Legion of Fergus Falls, open each Wednesday through Saturday on Pebble Lake Road in Fergus Falls.
We are back here. 2-0 is our score here on the Park Region telephone scoreboard. Again, shots on goal 13 for Minneapolis and 4 for the Otters. Let's recap the scoring in the first period. Minneapolis gets on the board at 5:08 of the period. It is the first of the year. Number 21, Bodie Hain, and that was assisted by the defenseman number 38, Owen Christensen. That's his third assist of the season. Then Minneapolis comes back at 8:03 of the period, and it is the first of the year for Judd Hansen, assisted by Emmett Anderson, that made the score 2-0. And again, I'm sure that the Otters want those back. They were kind of rebound-type goals. They weren't tic-tac-toe or type of thing, but Otters just got to clear pucks out in front of Holden Stenstrom. But again, the Otters right now will have a better second period. I believe that with all my heart. So 13 shots for Minneapolis, 4 for Fergus Falls. I want to remind you, tomorrow we'll have Lady Otter hockey on the air. The Otters coming off that nice 4-3 win over Sartell. And then they lost to a good Wayzata team, 8-4, and they'll be here against Minnesota River tomorrow at 3 o'clock on AM 1250 KBRF. Also streamed on the Fergus Now app and on the KBRF Radio YouTube channel. So don't forget tomorrow morning, too, I'll be hosting the Coaches Show from our Layton Media Stations studios, and we're going to have a great lineup tomorrow. And again, Viking Cafe provides the food. They sponsor the show, and we have a great time with that. But Matt Johnson, Otter boys basketball coach, will join me, and then someone from the Otter hockey team. I don't think it'll be Mike Donahue. I think he's hunting tomorrow. It's going to be one of the assistant coaches. And then Otter girls basketball coach Josh Steer. And then at 8:45, Isaac Vattenstall, the first-year Otter girls hockey coach. And then Corey Fry from Hillcrest Lutheran Academy, as Hillcrest is coming off of their state runner-up in Class 9-man football. And then Hillcrest girls head coach Hannah Clark. We'll talk about their season as well. But again, tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock on AM 1250 KBRF, and also streamed on the Fergus Now app and on the KBRF Radio YouTube channel. So a lot of ways to get the Coaches Show. Otters got to get their boots moving here in period number 2. And it seemed like we were chasing the game a bit in that first period, but a lot of hockey yet to be played. And we look forward to a better second period here from Fergus Falls. Again, Coulter McGinnis is out with an injury where you just feel bad for Coulter. And Jared Kennedy also out, and also Parker Tilke, all key parts of this Otter hockey team. Excuse me. We're going to take another break. Come back with more here from Fergus Falls. Right now, the Park Region scoreboard reads Minneapolis 2, Fergus Falls nothing.
Lake Region Healthcare knows what all coaches know. It takes tons of teamwork, great amounts of grit, and heaps of hustle to triumph. Lake Region Healthcare, supporting and celebrating our high school athletes.
It's time to replace your old furnace. That old one has been a drain on your energy bill for far too long. Let Otters Plumbing and Heating replace your old inefficient furnace with a new carrier system and help you and your checkbook rest easy. Otters Plumbing and Heating, Fergus Falls.
At Fergus Falls Monument Company, Ryan and Mike want you to design a personal memorial for your loved one that will fully express your personal sentiment and that of your loved one. Fergus Falls Monument on Pebble Lake Road, online, foreverstonememorials.com.
Hey, we're back here in Fergus Falls. Want to remind you, too, that Running Stitches is one of our great sponsors of Otter Athletic. They're the local choice for embroidery and screen printing in Fergus Falls. Running Stitches Embroidery. So, second game of the year for the Otter boys. And again, this is a young Otter team. A lot of their scoring graduated from last year. Luke Johnson, as a freshman, is the leading scorer coming back as a sophomore. And so, and again, he and Tanner Donahue saw a lot of minutes last year as freshman players, but we do return Caden Zender and Brant Sherman, Parker Tilke with varsity experience as well, and then Brody Crine. And other than that, just a lot of new young players, but a lot of optimism with this Otter team. It'll be a growth year, especially early in the season. And talking with head coach Mike Donahue, it seems like these guys are getting going now, but it really takes until Christmas until you kind of settle in and really kind of feel comfortable with that. So, again, tomorrow the Lady Otters will take on Minnesota River. That's a 3 o'clock puck drop, 2:45 pregame show on AM 1250 KBRF and also on our streaming outlets. So, looking forward to this next period. See if the Otters got a little more giddy up in their boots and their skates here, and they'll turn the corner here, but they trail it right now 2-0. We'll come back more after this break.
The Chevy Red Tag sales event has arrived at Minnesota Motor Company in Fergus Falls. You can take advantage of savings of up to $10,000 on the Chevy Silverado or great financing offers like 2.9% APR for 72 months. Contact the sales team at Minnesota Motor Company for details. Customer must take delivery by December 1st. Chevy, together, let's drive.
Minnesota Motor.
South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
Make OSPTI your choice for outpatient rehabilitation and sports injuries with locations in Fergus Falls and Breckenridge. Orthopedic and sports physical therapy is the right choice for your recovery. Live your best life. Trust the experts at OSPTI.
Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's has a way better option than some overprocessed junk from the back of your freezer. They've got take and bake meals made fresh with real ingredients, and all you have to do is stick it in the oven. Fresh and Fancy, saving moms one dinner at a time.
At Fergus Falls Monument Company, Ryan and Mike want you to design a personal memorial for your loved one that will fully express your personal sentiment and that of your loved one. Fergus Falls Monument on Pebble Lake Road, online, foreverstonememorials.com.
Between practices, games, and late-night drives, who's got time to grocery shop? With Instacart from Service Food in Fergus Falls, order online and your groceries are ready for delivery. So you can cheer louder, not shop longer. Service Food of Fergus Falls.
Serving you best.
Need custom tees, hats, or uniforms? Let Lake Country Graphics bring your brand to life with top-quality screen printing and embroidery. Located on North Union Avenue in Fergus Falls. Call 998-4027 today.
Here's to a great season for all our favorite high school athletes. American Legion is a favorite too and serves up everyone's favorite barbecued ribs. American Legion of Fergus Falls, open each Wednesday through Saturday on Pebble Lake Road in Fergus Falls.
Hey, we're back here at the Fergus Falls Community Ice Arena. The ice is done, and we're going to get these second period underway. Upcoming for the Otters, they travel to the MAC next Tuesday to take on St. Cloud, and then they'll host River Lakes here at home on Thursday, December 4th, and then it'll be Tuesday, December 9th up at Essential Health Center as the Otters take on Brainerd and take on the Warriors up there. So it's a good, solid schedule here for Fergus Falls in these coming days, and so we're just looking forward to kind of things rolling here. And again, the Otters will have their Christmas tournament once again, so looking forward to that. And with the different teams coming to town, the Lady Otters will be down in Farmington for their tournament over Christmas, so a busy, busy stretch. A lot happens here, and it goes very, very quickly. Youth hockey is rolling, a lot going on as far as that goes. There was a Bantam A tournament here last weekend, and our youth hockey teams are rolling. So, again, the Otters trail by a score of 2-0. Minneapolis had 5:08 of the period, the first of the year. For number 21, Bodie Hain, assisted by Wilson Lamberty. And then Minneapolis had 8:03 of the period, first of the year for Judd Hansen, and that was assisted by Emmett Anderson. So 2-0. Otters got to muster some offense here. They only have 4 shots on goal in that first period, 13 shots on goal for Minneapolis. We'll be back with more here from the Fergus Falls Community Ice Arena. Right now, the score 2-0 Minneapolis. Ice is done. We'll drop the puck here after a bit.
Need custom tees, hats, or uniforms? Let Lake Country Graphics bring your brand to life with top quality screen printing and embroidery. Located on North Union Avenue in Fergus Falls. Call 998-4027 today.
Lake Region Healthcare joins you in shouting loud, cheering strong, and jumping for joy. Keeping our community healthy and spirited is the top priority at Lake Region Healthcare.
It's time to replace your old furnace. That old one has been a drain on your energy bill for far too long. Let Otters Plumbing and Heating replace your old inefficient furnace with a new carrier system and help you and your checkbook rest easy. Otters Plumbing and Heating, Fergus Falls.
Hi, I'm Heather Hickman, Executive Director for LB Homes in Fergus Falls. Seasons may change, but one truth remains: our compassionate, Christ-centered care at LB Browen Home. For over a century, we have served as His hands and feet. Every resident is welcomed as family, embraced with the dignity and kindness that Christ calls us to share. So whether you are seeking peace of mind or a trusted home for a loved one, you'll find it here. LB Browen Home, rooted in faith, serving with compassion, trusted for generations.
Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's has a way better option than some overprocessed junk from the back of your freezer. They've got take and bake meals made fresh with real ingredients, and all you have to do is stick it in the oven. Fresh and Fancy, saving moms one dinner at a time.
For over 50 years, Ottertail Coaches has safely carried kids to school, to games, and back home again. Trusted by generations, they're proud to serve Fergus Falls and the surrounding area. Ottertail Coaches, safety, service, and dependability.
What's your number?
We've driven 57 miles to Quality Toyota to get a great deal, and we've done it 13 times.
Quality Toyota.
Mark Johnson back with you at the Fergus Falls Community Ice Arena. The score right now on the Ottertail Telecom scoreboard, 2-0 in favor of Minneapolis. Shots on goal 13-14 in favor of Minneapolis, but 2-0 is the score right now. Okay, Running Stitches Embroidery is one of our sponsors. They're your local choice for embroidery and screen printing in Fergus Falls. Running Stitches Embroidery. Again, Minnesota Motor brings us our period breaks. And again, Minnesota Motor Company is located on South Pebble Lake Road in Fergus Falls. Earlier tonight, the Otters honored Roger Johnson. He was inducted into the Minnesota Coaches Association Hall of Fame. What an honor for Roger with all these 50-plus years of service to Otter hockey. And I have a copy of the record book that Roger meticulously put together and cared for all these years. Now head coach Mike Donahue has taken care of that. But having had 3 boys play in the previous years, man, if they needed equipment, something fixed, something sewed, something repaired, Roger was there in these later years. But just a great honor for Roger and his family. All right, here we go. Period number 2. Otters trail it here by a score of 2-0 on the Park Region telephone scoreboard. And we are playing some hockey here. Luke Johnson will take the draw here against Milo Black. And see if the Otters can generate some more chances here. Otters win the draw. Brody Crine will send it in on goal. And it's dropped to the left there for Christensen. Otters on a quick forecheck. But Johnson and Zender kind of bump into each other. Ackerman will play it forward. And it's going to be an icing call. No, they wave it off. Ackerman picks it up behind the net. Out to the point, and it hops over the stick of Christensen. Zender hustling after it. Caden with a full head of steam. Sends it out front, but nobody there. Now behind the net. Here's Luke Johnson with it behind the net. Tried to wrap it around and lost the puck. Johnson behind the net, battling, trying to get over to Zender. Christensen will pick it up. The Otters would have had an opportunity there. Peck sent it in the zone. Milo Black is after Brody Crine. Dropped it, but is picked up by Minneapolis. Played out front and played out to neutral ice. Here's a 2-on-1 for the Otters. Luke Johnson up the left side. Walks in, sends a shot on. Low blocker. And it caroms way back into the outer end. So an opportunity there, and then there's a shot on Stenstrom, but a save made. Luke was shooting low blocker there, but he missed left. And we get a face-off in the Otter end. A better start to the period. That time for Fergus Falls. And here comes Hunter Welly, Bennett Tilke, and Nolan Wadle for Fergus Falls. Face-off is won by Minneapolis. Shot there, pad save made by Stenstrom. Now the puck in the corner. Battle for it there. It's picked up by Ortiz. Tried to play it out to the point. Comes to the near side. Shot there by Lamberty. Now Ortiz will pick it back up. Sends it out high. Shot there. It hit his own player that time. Was Bodie Hain, who had the first goal for Minneapolis. They turned. They just turned and they put pucks on net. The Otters are getting outshot here, 15-4. It was kind of like that in the Marshall game, but this is a better Minneapolis team. Tilke tried to get a stick on that one. Now here's Brant Sherman. Chips it out to neutral. Takes a hit from Bodie Hain. Line change for the Otters. Here's Cullen Alt and Zach Pierce on for the Otters. Sent back in. Good hit that time by Brant Sherman down in the corner. Zach Pierce left it, but it came right around the stick there of one of the Minneapolis players. Played behind the net, Henry Franson. Otters try and move it out. Good stick, though, by Minneapolis. Chase Johnson will go for a skate. Chase, a sophomore. Pretty good size, though, for our freshman, pardon me. And away with the puck now comes Aaron Murphy. Murphy up the left side, drop pass. Outside the dot, now behind goal line, goaltender Stenstrom. Dropped in the corner. Christensen got involved in the offense. Otters trying to move it out. Right now, Minneapolis having their way. Here's Murphy behind the net. And this has been a state tournament team the last few years. They lost to Orono in the section finals last year in Section 2A. Tried to move it out. Cuts her, and we have an offsides call here against Minneapolis. 14:19 to play here in the second period. Otters need to muster some offense here. Face off at neutral ice. And have some line changes here for both teams. Otters get the last change here. So Otters first line against the third line of Minneapolis. Luke Johnson on the draw. Minneapolis is going to win it. Sent in by Cleason. Tanner Donahue plays it over to Caden Zender. Caden trying to move it out. Puck at neutral. Here's Quinn Wynn-Sheldon. Up the left side. Had it poke checked away. Quinn tried to get it to Caden Zender. Out to the near side. Murphy. Tanner Donahue will play it back in. Otters will check back up. Caden Zender and Luke Johnson on the forecheck. Puck to the near side. Good hit by Brody Crine. Back after it is Quinn Wynn-Sheldon. Plays it over to Zender. Here's Caden with it now. A little too far for Johnson. And away with it comes Minneapolis out at neutral ice. Christensen walks in. Shot there. That's sent into the corner. Zender trying to get a stick on it. Puck pops out to neutral ice. Puck tips and into the breadbasket of Stenstrom as Stenstrom makes the save. So Stenstrom gets in on the good save there. He watched that one in as it was tipped. Getting our post-game show, we'll name our Toyota Quality Player of the Game, brought to you by Quality Toyota and Lake Country Graphics. Line changes for both teams. Second line for the Otters, fourth line for Minneapolis. Anderson on the draw against Welly, won by Minneapolis. Quick shot, save made by Stenstrom. Kind of a juicy rebound into the high slot, picked up though here by, and they're mixing in some different guys here as Ackerman, the first line left winger, is out there. Kind of double shifting. Shot there, Stenstrom save, rebound, and a goal. Holden didn't control the rebound there, and it popped back out. And a goal here for Minneapolis. There was an initial shot, and the rebound was there. And it's 3-0 Minneapolis. And so time of this goal for Minneapolis is at 3:54 the period. So at 3:54, 3-0 Minneapolis here now on the Park Region telephone scoreboard. Face-off won by Fergus Falls. Brant Sherman will get it to the red line, and he'll send it, but it goes into the Otter bench. So Ackerman with the goal, his second of the year. And that was assisted by number 10, Emmett Anderson. Otters getting outshot 21-5 right now on this one. Face-off is won by Fergus Falls. And the Otters trying to find some of the middle ice, and it's an icing call against Fergus Falls. So an icing call here on the Otters. 12:54 to play here in the second period. My grandson Henrik and granddaughter Elaine, daughter-in-law Chandler walking behind us. They're just going to be heading out. 12:54 to play in the second period. Here's Zach Pierce on the draw against Milo Black. It's won by Minneapolis. Comes out to the near point. Kept in by Minneapolis. Mullen, Brody Crine doing a good job using his body there against Ryan Mullen. And Milo Black will pick it up now. Minneapolis really buzzing us right now. Down 3-0. Comes out to the point, kept in by Black. Otters trying to play it over to the near side to Corbin Profit. Now Tanner Donahue comes in. Corbin will pick up the puck now. He'll send it to the wing, but nobody home over there except for the D for Minneapolis. Puck in the high slot. Out to neutral ice now. Minneapolis will play it back in over the line. Ackerman has the check back up. Free pass here. Tanner Donahue back in his own end. Drops it. Tried to stretch the ice to Cullen. Here's Zach Pierce. Zach will walk in. And the Otters are offsides. So an offsides call here against Fergus Falls. Caden Zender and Luke Johnson will come out on the ice. Again with Nolan Wadle. Or Quinwin Sheldon, pardon me. 3-0 Minneapolis here on the Park Region telephone scoreboard. Johnson will win the draw. Brant Sherman sends it, but not deep enough. Owen Christensen is there. Oh, Lamberty. Lamberty will skate it out to neutral through traffic. Poke checked away. Here comes Luke Johnson. Up the left side. Sauces it over to Zender. On the backhand. Out front. Off a Luke stick. Puck kept in. Good hit by Zender. And Brant Sherman tried to keep it in. Quinwin Sheldon on the back check. Now Chase Johnson will go after it. Minneapolis behind the net. Chase will move him up along the boards. Picked up by Brant Sherman. Bat along the near boards. Comes out high. Christensen looking for a shooting lane. Sends one on. Missed wide right of the net. Karams back out to Hain. Zender trying to get after it. Brant Sherman puts a hit on. Puck behind the net. And Stenstrom will get a glove on that here with 11:06 to play in the second period. But the shot's 22-5 in favor of Minneapolis. Minneapolis been really dominating play here in this one. Murphy will take the draw here against Hunter Welly. The draw is going to be won by Minneapolis. Bring it on the point. Christensen tried to make a move there against Wadle. Played into the corner. Back out to Christensen. He'll send one on net. That hit traffic. Chase Johnson tried to get out to Wadle, but it's played back in by Minneapolis. Back behind the net, Franson drops it behind the net. They're just beating us to pucks. Winning puck battles right now. Comes out high to Christensen. Christensen walks in, sends a shot. That's going to be blocked. It comes out to neutral ice, and it's picked up here by Minneapolis now. Franson bothered there by Bennett Tilke. Again, Brother Parker out with an injury. Need him back as well. Missing Coulter McGinnis and Jared Kennedy. 2 shot save. Stenstrom sends it up into the netting, and we're going to draw in the Otter defensive zone. With 10:19 to play in the 10:19 to play in the second period. Otters trail 3-0 here on the Park Region telephone scoreboard. Calling out Corbin Profit and Zach Pierce on for Fergus Falls. Face-off won by Minneapolis. They'll play it back into the near corner. Try to tap it down low. Pierce is there. Try to scoop it back behind the net. Picked up by Brody Crine. Brody will circle back. Sends it along the boards to Corbin Profit. Pops out. They try to get out to neutral, but it's taken away by Minneapolis. Now the Minneapolis will play it in over the line. Anderson behind the net to the near point. Comes out to the near D. Right side. Minneapolis making a move. Cullen Alt lost his stick. They'll play it back behind the net. Otters are kind of pinned here. Picked up by Corbin Profit. Krein comes in. And then Minneapolis still with the pressure on. Donahue comes in after it, as does Pierce. Otters are pinned here. And it pops out to neutral ice. Minneapolis will play it right back in over the line. It comes in on Stenstrom. And Stenstrom's going to freeze it and gets a face-off here with 9:15 to play in the second period. Again, the Otters trail here 3-0. But the concerning thing right now is the Otters are being outshot 23-5. So Luke Johnson will take the draw here, so both teams at their first lines on the ice. Johnson, Zender, and Quinn Wynn-Sheldon. It's Ackerman, Black, and Mullen for Minneapolis. Here's Brad Sherman behind the net, into the corner. Johnson after it comes out to the point. Play along the far boards. Now to the near side. Minneapolis still with pressure on. A lot of the ice is really tilted here right now. We got to start skating and hitting some, getting in their grill a little bit. Otters send it out to neutral ice. Zender's going to hustle after it. He's interfered with. Otters are going to get a power play here, so an interference call on Minneapolis. Tripping call. And so the Otters go on the power play here. And Minneapolis called for the trip. That's Schroet, Jack Schroet. Time of this penalty, 8:21 of the period. And so here comes the draw. Zach Pierce calling out. Otters going to win the draw. Right side pass. Brant Sherman sends one on net. High over the near side. Picked up by Profit. Here's Corbin with the puck. Down low. Sends it out to Chase Johnson. Chase with it now. Now to near side. And it's going to be cleared out now by Minneapolis. And that was number 21, Bodie Hain. And here comes Brant Sherman. Brant at neutral ice. He'll skate it up. Gets it up to Corbin Profit. Corbin will gain the zone. Tried to drop it there, but the pass wasn't successful. Kept in by Fergus Falls. Zach Pierce tried to get it out front, and it's kicked out of there by Lamberty. Brant Sherman in traffic, sent it through, comes into the near corner. Corbin Profit now down to Cullen Alt. He'll send it back out to the point to Chase Johnson. Couldn't hold the line. Otters get a partial change here in their power play unit. Luke Johnson is on. Cullen Alt will come off. And here comes Chase Johnson. He'll gain the zone. Chase behind the net. Looking for somebody out front. Here's Caden Zender. Otters a good setup here. They got 50 seconds of the one-man advantage. Zender with it now. Sends it into the corner. Quinn Wynn-Sheldon picks it up there. Sends it out to Donahue. Here's Tanner. Out to Zender. Near side for Krein. Down low to Luke Johnson. Back out to Brody. Brody will play it out to Zender. Zender out front. Send one on net. Low. Kept in though. Krein. He'll chip it behind the net. Quinn Sheldon after it. Here's Quinn with the puck. Try to get it out to Zender, who was coming in. Luke Johnson behind the net. He'll pick it up. Chip back out to Donahue. 17 seconds on the one-man advantage. Brody Krein. Luke Johnson on the back door. Here's Luke down below the goal line. Luke with it. Out to Krein. Side of the net. And Mullen will send it. Zender will stop it up. Good job. Picked up by Luke Johnson. Played in by Zender. Otters on the attack. 6.5 minutes to play in the first period. Here's Zender with the puck. Tried to send it out front. Nobody home but Minneapolis. Now Mullen with it. Kept in by Zender. We're in the near corner. Krein will come in along with Luke Johnson. Puck pops out into the slot area. A little life here for the Otters. Kept in by Tanner Donahue. Oh, he jumped up high. Here's the 2-on-1 possibly. Lamberty sauces it. Stenstrom sends it into the corner. Puck out at neutral, sent back into the Otter zone. And Stenstrom will get on top of that one. So the Otters did get one shot on that power play, but need to generate some more offense. Otters trail 3-0 here with 5:59 to play here in the second period. Face off to the left of goaltender Stenstrom. And it is Hain taking the draw here against Welly. 3-0 Minneapolis. Face-off is going to be controlled here by Minneapolis. Shot on, Holdy with a blocker save. Sent back down. Again, the Otters have kind of been chasing this game the entire time so far. Not been the aggressor. Still time, though, down 3-0. Sure would be nice to get one before the end of this period. Now Nolan Waito will pick it up. Looked like he was almost tripped up along the boards right in front of the Minneapolis bench. Nolan will put a hit on his guy. The linesman is going to jump up on the boards. Played in on Stenstrom. He'll glove it there and keep it for Brant Sherman. 5:20 to play in the period. Played in over the line. It was Bennett Tilke in the corner. Here's Benny battling. Boy, pound for pound, Benny battles so hard. It's a good job. 5:03 to play in the period. And here comes Minneapolis. He'll dump it in. Brad Sherman will hustle back after it. Over to Cullen Alt. He's going to take a hit. Zach Pierce right at neutral ice. Right now, Minneapolis winning the puck battles. No question about that. Here comes Minneapolis at mid-ice. Cuts her through traffic. Centering pass. Shot and a save made by Stenstrom on the back door there. Wow. Off the stick of Gleason. Puck played over the line. Good hit by Brant Sherman on Gleason. Chase Johnson with a hit. Cullen Alt will send it out to neutral. Otters trail 3-0 here. 4:14 to play here in the first period. Zenderon with Johnson. Brant Sherman comes out and makes a good play. Caden tried to get it out to neutral. Otters just need to get some puck possession here. Picked up here now, and here comes Franson. Poke checked away by Zender. Stenstrom sends it into the corner. Chase Johnson out to Corbin Profit. Now to Zender. Zender gains the line, keeps it on his stick. Pops out to neutral. Brant Sherman going to send it. Puck out in front of the net. Luke Johnson on the forecheck. Picks it off momentarily. In comes Quinn Sheldon. And the net comes off. The net is off, so the net came off, so we're going to get a face-off in the Otter offensive zone. And Hunter Welly, Nolan Wadel, and Bennett Tilke on for Fergus Falls. Otters trail 3-0 here on the Park Region telephone scoreboard. Welly on the draw. Otters going to win the draw. Welly with a shot. Save made by Thielen. Welly with a quick puck comes into the slot area. Tilke gets it back. That's Bennett. Taken away from him. Ackerman to the near side. Lamberty over the line. He gets around well, 37. It's a good skating team. Lamberty behind the net. Still with the puck. Sends over to the far point. Milo Black. Shot there. Puck bounces up high. Picked up by Black behind the net. Drops it in the corner to Mullen. Mullen battling on the boards. Mullen's a strong kid. He's a sophomore. Against Brody Crine. Brody trying to pin him up against the boards. Comes out to Christensen at the point. Christensen walks in. Shot, save made. Rebound. Puck is loose. And it's sent over to the corner. Picked up by Black. Now they'll play it back to Hunter Welly, and he'll backhand it out of the zone and relieve some pressure with 2:29 to play. Otters being outshot 31-6 in this one. And again, Fergus Falls trails 3-0 here on the Park Region telephone scoreboard. Luke Johnson will take the draw here against Emmett Anderson. Minneapolis wins the draw. They send a shot on. And the save was made there by Holden Stenstrom. Face-off will be now in the Otter D zone. Luke Johnson will take the draw here against Anderson. Face-off won by Fergus Falls. Chase Johnson taking off the puck. Minneapolis, low shot, blocked by Brant Sherman, picked up by Caden Zender. Caden trying to move it out right below us here. Picked up there. Looked like Luke was tripped up there. No call. They got it. All right, so Otters draw penalty. Give it to him. No, they'll get a chance here. All right, here comes Chase Johnson. Near side. Brant Sherman going to send it in, and Minneapolis gets the puck back. So Johnson drew the trip there at center ice. So the Otters get a power play. And power play unit of Corbin Profit, Zach Pierce, Quinn Sheldon, Brant Sherman, and Chase Johnson on here for Fergus Falls. Again, 3-0 Otters trail here. Minute 52 to play in the period. Otters win the draw. Brant Sherman over to Chase Johnson. Low on the ice. Shot there, and it's going to be cleared out by Mullen. Mullen will send it, and Stenstrom will stop it there and leave it for Brant Sherman. Here comes Brant. Off to Corbin Profit. Corbin will send it. Goes to the back of the net, though. Zach Pierce with a quick shot over to the far side. Brant Sherman hustles after it. Here's Brant with the puck now. He's going to send one on net. Missed wide left. Picked up by Minneapolis. They'll try to move it out. Kept in by Sherman. Now to Chase Johnson. Send it to Corbin Profit. It was a hard pass into his shins, so we're going to get a change here on the power play unit here. The minute 4 to play in the period. Now 1 minute to play. Here comes the Otters. Chase Johnson sends it ahead to Quinn Sheldon. Here's Caden Zender walking in. Tried to get into the slot here. Quinn Sheldon turns. Just shoot it. Then the Otters couldn't control it. Here comes Minneapolis. A great play by Chase Johnson. Here's Luke Johnson. Just take her to the house. Luke coming in to Zender. Walking in. Shot there. Goes into the corner. Tanner Donahue after it. Picked up by Sheldon. Out to Zender. Caden with a puck. Donahue low on the ice. Shot there. Hit traffic out front. Luke Johnson in the corner behind the net. Poke checked away. Zender with it now. Here's Luke. Tripped up again. No call on his knees. 7 seconds ago. Could have been another penalty. Yep, could have been another one. Shot by Crine. And head coach Mike Donahue is hot, as there could have been another call down here as Luke was going to the net. Wow. Minneapolis with 32 shots on goal, 7 for the Otters. They were afraid to call another penalty. Could have been a 5-on-3, but we'll leave it there. The Otters will start the second period with an 8-second power play, trailing 3-0. Could be a lot worse. Otters getting outshot in this one. We're going to regroup and come out and play period number 3. We'll come back after this break. Score on the Park Region scoreboard. Minneapolis 3, Fergus Falls nothing. Park Region service beyond the connection.
Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls is proud to sponsor area athletics. Nelson Auto knows the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls.
Looking to buy, build, or refinance? Trust Alicia Helgeson at FM Bank in Fergus Falls. With expert guidance and local know-how, she makes the mortgage process smooth and stress-free. Call Alicia or apply online at mybankfm.com today. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Make OSPTI your choice for outpatient rehabilitation and sports injuries with locations in Fergus Falls and Breckenridge. Orthopedic and sports physical therapy is the right choice for your recovery. Live your best life. Trust the experts at OSPTI.
And we're back here. 3-0 is our score on the Park Region telephone scoreboard. And again, the scoring in the second period, just one goal, and it was Minneapolis scoring. And it was the second of the year for Will Ackerman. And that was assisted by Emmett Anderson. So that's where things stand right now. 3-0 here on the Park Region telephone scoreboard. Minneapolis got 2 goals in the first period. One at 5:08 of the first. And it was the first of the year for Bodie Hain, assisted by Wilson Lamberty. And Minneapolis had 8:03 of the period. First of the year for Judd Hansen. And that was assisted by Anderson as well. So Emmett Anderson has a pair of assists in this one. Shots on goal, 32-7 in favor of Minneapolis. Didn't see that one coming, but we got one period yet to play. We'll take another break and come back with more here on our Minnesota Motor Period Break. Minnesota Motor Company, located on South Peb Lake Road in Fergus Falls.
What's your number?
We drove 25 miles to get a great deal at Quality Toyota.
I drove 7 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's has a way better option than some overprocessed junk from the back of your freezer. They've got take and bake meals made fresh with real ingredients, and all you have to do is stick it in the oven. Fresh and Fancy, saving moms one dinner at a time.
Where to eat, the ultimate culinary adventure, from signature dishes to chef recommendations.
As your food review professionals, you can find us at KBRFradio.com, the Fergus Now app, and on YouTube.
Tune in every first Friday of the month for new episodes.
Check us out, and we'll show you where to eat.
Hey, we're back here. Mark Johnson with you from the Fergus Falls Community Ice Arena. Tomorrow, the Lady Otters will take on Minnesota River, and that is the schools of LeSueur, Henderson, St. Peter. They'll be up here for a 3 o'clock puck drop, 2:45 pregame show, streamed on the Fergus Now app and also on the KBRF YouTube channel, and it's going to be on the radio on AM 1250 KBRF. Let's look at some scores in college hockey for those interested in that. Michigan, number 1 Michigan, up on Harvard 5-1. And Minnesota State leads Northern Michigan 3-0. That's in the second period. Michigan Tech leads St. Thomas. These are CCHA scores. A good one going on. Number 6 North Dakota. And Bemidji State tied 1-1. Those guys are tied 1-1, so a good one going on there. Boston College up on Notre Dame 5-3. That one's gone final. Michigan State beats Colgate earlier today. And some scores of interest there, but keep an eye on that Bemidji State Michigan's or North Dakota score. Fun to see how that one pans out. But right now the score here is 3-0 in favor of Minneapolis. And again, the Otters are outshot 32-7 in this one, and they've really been a little bit caught on their heels. And but we'll see what period number 3 yields as far as the Otters too, as the Otters not out of this one by any stretch of the imagination. The Otters will start with a power play in period number 2. We'll take another break. Again, we'll come back with more. Again, 3-0 Minneapolis. Here as our Minnesota Motor Period Break continues.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
Need custom tees, hats, or uniforms? Let Lake Country Graphics bring your brand to life with top quality screen printing and embroidery. Located on North Union Avenue in Fergus Falls. Call 998-4027 today.
For over 50 years, Ottertail Coaches has safely carried kids to school, to games, and back home again. Trusted by generations, they're proud to serve Fergus Falls and the surrounding area. Ottertail Coaches, safety, service, and dependability.
Every team has a home field advantage. Make yours the internet from Park Region. With speeds that keep up with the pace of the game and the reliability to never miss a play, you'll always be connected. Get the internet that's always in your corner. Park Region, your home team's internet advantage.
Between muddy roads and dusty drives, your car takes a beating. Keep it shining with an unlimited car wash membership at Splash Express. Upgrade to the Platinum for a rust inhibitor, hot wax, and ceramic coating in one bundle. Stop by Splash Express, next to Premier Meats in Fergus Falls.
Between practices, games, and late-night drives, who's got time to grocery shop? With Instacart from Service Food in Fergus Falls, order online and your groceries are ready for delivery. So you can cheer louder, not shop longer. Service Food of Fergus Falls.
Mark Johnson back with you. The Otters right now trail it by a score of 3-0 here on the Park Region telephone scoreboard. Otters need to generate some offense here. They did have one power play opportunity and unsuccessful on that. Minneapolis had one in the first period, and the Otters killed that one off. So one bright spot there. The Otters able to kill the penalties off, and but right now, just a really good Minneapolis team here. Really moving the puck in their own end, winning puck battles, doing all those things that you need to do to be successful. The Otters can do the same thing as well. But, again, it's going to be some learning and growing here as things go on. 3-0 is our score. We'll take another break as our Minnesota Motor Period break continues.
Need custom tees, hats, or uniforms? Let Lake Country Graphics bring your brand to life with top-quality screen printing and embroidery. Located on North Union Avenue in Fergus Falls. Call 998-4027 today.
Lake Region Healthcare joins you in shouting loud, cheering strong, and jumping for joy. Keeping our community healthy and spirited is the top priority at Lake Region Healthcare.
It's time to replace your old furnace. That old one has been a drain on your energy bill for far too long. Let Otters Plumbing and Heating replace your old inefficient furnace with a new carrier system and help you and your checkbook rest easy. Otters Plumbing and Heating, Fergus Falls.
Hi, I'm Heather Hickman, Executive Director for LB Homes in Fergus Falls. Seasons may change, but one truth remains: our compassionate, Christ-centered care at LB Browen Home. For over a century, we have served as His hands and feet. Every resident is welcomed as family, embraced with the dignity and kindness that Christ calls us to share. So whether you are seeking peace of mind or a trusted home for a loved one, you'll find it here. LB Browen Home, rooted in faith, serving with compassion, trusted for generations.
Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's has a way better option than some overprocessed junk from the back of your freezer. They've got take and bake meals made fresh with real ingredients, and all you have to do is stick it in the oven. Fresh and Fancy, saving moms one dinner at a time.
For over 50 years, Ottertail Coaches has safely carried kids to school, to games, and back home again. Trusted by generations, they're proud to serve Fergus Falls and the surrounding area. Ottertail Coaches, safety, service, and dependability.
What's your number?
We've driven 57 miles to Quality Toyota to get a great deal, and we've done it 13 times.
Quality Toyota.
Welcome back to Fergus Falls Community Ice Arena as the Otters trail 3-0 here. We're between the second and third periods. I want to remind you, tomorrow morning, the Coaches Show will take place at 8 a.m., and you can find that on AM 1250 KBRF and also on the Fergus Now app. You got to download that app. It's awesome because you get Derek Sidian's news on there. You can choose your station. You can look at sports schedules and different things going on. You can click on the streaming button, and it'll be right there. And also, you can find our Coaches Show on the KBRF Radio YouTube channel as well. A lot of great stuff on there as the Otters trail this one 3-0. But, you know, just with that now, just thinking about the Coaches Show tomorrow, just some of the people on the show tomorrow will be Matt Johnson, Otter Boys basketball coach, and then a representative from the Otter Boys hockey team, Otter girls basketball coach Josh Steer, Isaac Vattenstall, first-year girls hockey coach, and then Corey Fry. How about that run for Hillcrest? State runners-up, losing to Hills Beaver Creek in the Prep Bowl, but what a great season they had. And then we'll talk to Hillcrest girls basketball head coach Hannah Clark. We'll have all that for you on the Coaches Show tomorrow. Again, keep praying for Craig Olson. He's out on the East Coast. His brother-in-law Jim is not doing well, and his sister-in-law Susan passed away, so a lot going on for Craig and Sue and their family, but pray for Craig as he's out on the East Coast with his brother. Again, Roger Johnson was honored tonight He was inducted, I think, in September to the Minnesota High School Coaches Association Hall of Fame, and that's an honor there because you're recognized by your peers. And 55 years of service, 50-plus years of service to Otter hockey, head coach from 65 to 72, and just doing so much for this Otter hockey program. And it was neat to see his grandsons, Griffin and Owen and Keaton. They're presenting the plaque to him, and just what a asset he has been to the Fergus Falls hockey community. There's no question about that. Take another break. Come back with more. Again, 3-0. We're between the second and third periods.
Hi, I'm Heather Hickman, Executive Director for LB Homes in Fergus Falls. Seasons may change, but one truth remains: our compassionate, Christ-centered care at LB Browen Home. For over a century, we have served as His hands and feet. Every resident is welcomed as family, embraced with the dignity and kindness that Christ calls us to share. So whether you are seeking peace of mind or a trusted home for a loved one, you'll find it here. LB Browen Home, rooted in faith, serving with compassion, trusted for generations.
Where to eat, the ultimate culinary adventure, from signature dishes to chef recommendations.
As your food review professionals, you can find us at KBRFradio.com, the Fergus Now app, and on YouTube.
Tune in every first Friday of the month for new episodes.
Check us out, and we'll show you where to eat.
Mark Johnson back with you, and Dave Bishop is our game site engineer. You know, Dave, I have a hard time concentrating, broadcasting. We go to break, and I have to see the where to eat things with you and Zach. And then I see the Legion ribs, and I see the Viking Cafe and all these things. It's hard to concentrate. I'm just saying, I'm really, really hungry right now. But tomorrow morning, again, our coaches show is brought to you by the Viking Cafe. And I'll be picking up breakfast and then bringing it there. So we just look so forward to those coaches shows. And again, Otters got their work cut out for them here right now, trailing 3-0. But I just want to see a good push here by the Otters and see them get some offensive momentum, because right now it's been really solidly Minneapolis, all Minneapolis. There's no question about that. So we got fresh ice. Officials are on the ice. Otters are back out. We'll take one more break, and then we'll come back and drop the puck on period number 3.
The 2025 model year closeout pricing has arrived at Minnesota Motor Company in Fergus Falls. They have just a handful of new 2025 Chevy and Buick vehicles remaining, and all of them are at their lowest prices of the year. From the Chevy Blazer to the Buick Enclave, you won't want to miss out on these great deals. Contact the sales team for more information.
Minnesota Motor.
South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
Here's to a great season for all our favorite high school athletes. American Legion is a favorite too and serves up everyone's favorite barbecued ribs. American Legion of Fergus Falls, open each Wednesday through Saturday on Pebble Lake Road in Fergus Falls.
All right, here we go. Third period just about set to get underway here. Here from the Fergus Falls Community Ice Arena, we've got 17 minutes on the clock. A little bit of water behind the goal lines. They're making sure that things are all taken care of there. Bemidji and North Dakota were tied 1-1 after one. Bemidji's got a good team this year. North Dakota does too. North Dakota's number 6 in the country. Just saying, a lot has changed in college hockey with the CHL now. You got a lot of different players, and those teams with old rosters can play with anybody. It's interesting, very interesting. All right, matter at hand here, though. The Otters trail 3-0. Want to see a good third period here. Otters can pop one in here, make things interesting here. Luke Johnson will take the draw here against Owen DeYoung. Luke will win the draw. They go D to D. Brody Crine, a little bit of a power player, just a little too far there for Caden Zender. Donahue keeps it in, picks up out front. Zender sends it left of the net, and the Otter power play is over. Caden Zender will hustle back after it in the near corner. Caden sends it out in front of the goal, picked up by Luke Johnson. He had it come off his stick. Luke will get it back. Man, he would have had a good chance there. He was in the high slot area. Puck right below us. Luke Johnson puts a hit on his man. Trying to scrap it and dig it out of the corner. It's picked up by Christensen. I know that's one of the strengths of this Minneapolis team was their returning D. They returned 4D from last year's section runner-up team, and you can see that in Lamberty and Christensen and Kutzer and Schroet. They're good defensemen. We got some good defensemen as well, and we just need to get a goal here. Thank you, Captain Obvious, right? Or 3. Hunter Welly will take the draw here. It's first line center Milo Black. Face off. Won by the Otters now. It comes back in the Otter zone, though. Chase Johnson is bothered by Black. Comes out to Nolan Wadel. Shot there. Stenstrom makes a save. Puck right in front of him. Rebound was loose. As the Otters right now trail 3-0 here on the Park Region telephone scoreboard. Face off to the left of Stenstrom. Hunter Welly will take the draw. And it's won by Minneapolis. Shot there. Caromed off a Otter and off a Holden Stenstrom. Puck played back in the corner. Out to the point it goes. Schroet with a shot. That hits traffic out front. That hit Brant Sherman. Hunter Welly sends it out to neutral ice. Now Bennett Tilke had it momentarily. Brant Sherman right below us. Taps it ahead to Wadel. Wadel will send it in. Zach Pierce comes on. Corbin Profit comes on. Power turn in the corner there by Kutzer. Rink wide pass now to Will Ackerman. Will Ackerman plays it through Chase Johnson's legs. Now Minneapolis. Lamberty. Zach Pierce plays it back to Brant Sherman. Brant will send it off the boards. It comes out to neutral ice. Tap forward. Here's a 2-on-1 possibility. Pierce sends it over near side. Colin Alt tried to chase it down. Minneapolis with a 3-on-2 the other direction. This is wide open hockey here. Down low. Shot in tight. Save made. Rebound. And Stenstrom makes the save. Man, Holdy was way out of his net there. Yeah. Stenstrom with a good play there. Quite a ways out of his net there. Made a good save. Otters trail 3-0. 14:49 to play here on the Park Region telephone scoreboard. Minneapolis quick shot. Deflects off Holden Stenstrom. Battle in the corner. Picked up by Tanner Donahue momentarily. 14.5 minutes to play. Comes back out to the point. Send it back down low. Shot there. Sensor with a stick save. Sends that one into the corner. Zender tries to move it out off the stick of Quinn Wynn Sheldon. Near side. Or to the far side. Puck out to neutral ice. Now it's backhanded in there by Aaron Murphy. Stenser will stop it behind the goal line. Sends it over to Donahue. Tanner. Try to reverse it to Krein. Here's Brody with a puck now. We got to get some momentum here. Something's got to give here. Quick shot. Blocked there by Donahue and picked up by Luke Johnson. Here's Luke at neutral ice. He'll skate it up. 1-on-3. Luke will gain the zone with Zender. Back behind the net. Trying to get that puck back. Kicks it out of there. Zender comes in. Taps it into the corner. Bennett Tilke after it. Puck. Chase Johnson able to hold line. Otters got to check back up. On comes Hunter Welly as Luke Johnson gets off. Picked up by Chase Johnson. Chips it over to Nolan Wadel. And here comes Hunter Welly. Welly gives it off to Brant Sherman. Here's Sherman. Sends it out in front of the net. Again, 3-0 in favor of Minneapolis. Kept in by Sherman. Gives it over to Bennett Tilke. Kind of a hot saucer pass there. Otters try to send it out front of the net. Comes out to neutral. Brant Sherman will send it back in. Otters get a change. A little bit of momentum here. You know, the Otters are outshot here big time. 40-7. A little bit of a push here for the Otters, though. And back with it now is Minneapolis. They'll regroup. Owen Christensen will gain the red line. He'll send it in on Stenstrom. Holden will send it in over into the corner. Played back behind the net over to the far side. Picked up by Corbin Profit. Corbin to Colin Alt. Off his stick. And back after it now and circling back and moving it up ice is Theo Gustin. Kind of stifled at neutral, though. Ortiz and his own bench. Calling out will go on the forecheck. Minneapolis looking to stretch the ice here, trying to make a play here. Right in front of the Otter bench. Ortiz with a shot. That comes way out high to the near side. Puck out there. Picked up here now by Minneapolis. Shot there blocked by Corbin Profit. And it goes up and out of play. Three to nothing in favor of Minneapolis with 11:53 to play on the Park Region scoreboard. In our post-game show, we'll name our quality player of the game, which is brought to you by Quality Toyota and Lake Country Graphics. Off the face-off, it's won by Minneapolis. They'll play it out to the point. Now along the near boards. Backhanded back in. Luke Johnson working there against Milo Black. Sent into the corner to Mullen. Out to the point. Shot there to Strout. And tipped in. It's 4-0. Wow. Low on the ice. That's what happens. Third of the year, second of the game for Will Ackerman. Time of this goal is going to be 6:28. So Minneapolis goes up now by a score of 4-0. 5:28. There we go. So at 5:28, Minneapolis scores on a tip. And it's Ackerman with a goal. Assist going to Jaden DuBois and to number 15, Ryan Mullen. Otters send it in. It'll go on the forecheck. Trending 4-0. 11:21 to play here in the third period. Puck at neutral. Brant Sherman trying to move it forward. Luke Johnson will pick it up. Over to Quinn Sheldon. A little too far for Quinn. They wave off the icing. Comes over to the near side. Brant Sherman. Otters are going to have to take a few chances here now, and they will. Sherman plays it down into the corner. Quinn Sheldon after it over on the far side. Back behind the net. Minneapolis playing catch with it. Up 4-0. Minneapolis with an exit. Here's Mullen. Brant Sherman with a good hit on him. Shot and a save made there by the goaltender Holden Stenstrom. 10:38 to play. 4-0 Minneapolis here on the Park Region telephone scoreboard. So the Otters right now off the face-off, a quick shot by Minneapolis. That's up and out of here, another happy fan. It went up over the top of the netting. Up and out of play. And so Hunter Welly will take the draw here again for Fergus Falls. And he'll face off against Aaron Murphy. Murphy is a senior. And here comes the draw to the right of Holden Stenstrom. Otters going to win the draw. Tanner Donahue back to Brody Crine. Brody reverses it to Tanner. Good exit here by the Otters. Tanner gives it back to Brody. Try to move it up the boards, but it's picked up by Minneapolis. Minneapolis Cleason sends it back in as the Otters retrieve it now. Crine will send it over to Wadle. Nolan's pinned up along the boards. In comes Hunter Welly. Brody Crine with a good escape and gives it back to Donahue. There's Tanner. Chip but not out. Sent in behind Holden Stenstrom. He'll play it to the near side, but it comes right back to Minneapolis. 9:49 to play in the period. Otters trail 4-0. Backhand, puck out in the slot, picked up by Benetilke. Benny will accelerate out to neutral. He'll backhand it in. 9.5 minutes to play. Otters trail 4-0. Need something positive to happen in this one. Tipped in by Minneapolis. Brant Sherman will pick it up. Zach Pierce on along with Corbin Profit and Colin Alt. Here's Corbin at neutral. He'll play it in over the line. Comes back out. Here's Pierce. He'll backhand it in, but not deep enough. Sauce to the near side. Picked up by Brant Sherman. Taps it off to Cullen Alt. Couldn't handle it. Christensen comes back the other direction. He'll play it into the Otter zone. Brant Sherman will pick it up. Behind his own net. Try to go over to Pierce. And Cullen Alt tried to chip it, but not out. Kept in by Christensen. Centered out front. Shot and a save made by Stenstrom. And then Minneapolis tries to move it out of their, try to get it back out to the point, but they send it the length of the ice. Luke Johnson is on for the Otters. Over to the near side. Came off the skates there or shin pads there of Cullen Alt. Popped out to neutral. Brant Sherman along the near boards. Luke Johnson's going to dig it out. Here's Luke going to try to split the D. Try to get through traffic. Puck taken away. Sent in by Minneapolis. Caden Zender is on, along with Quinn Wynn Sheldon. Caden with a good hit. Good job by Zender. Someone's got to take control here. Otters down 4-0. Quinn Wynn Sheldon trying to gain the puck there. Now Christensen with it on the near side. Out to neutral ice. Far side. Zender with a good hit. Gotta like that. Otters playing a little more fire here. Chase Johnson puts a hit on his man. Sent out to neutral. Little fire in the belly now of the Otters. Good to see that. And away with the puck now comes Owen DeYoung. He'll gain the line. Tanner Donahue stood him up. Puck right below us here. Nolan Waddell, but not out. Kept in there by Boyce, and then Quinn Wynn Sheldon tops out the neutral, and the Otters get a change. Partial. Bennett Tilke joins Hunter Welly and Nolan Waddell. Puck out at neutral ice. Minneapolis plays over the line. Otters trail 4-0. Puck out towards neutral ice, picked up by Minneapolis. That's Milo Black. He's a good player. That got some good players on this Minneapolis team. Here comes Mullen up the right side. Drop pass for Ackerman. Sends one on. Misses left of the net. Black will pick it up in the corner. To Mullen behind the net. Welly puts a hit on him. He's going to come out to the point to the near side. They'll play it on the far wall. And the Otters have been chasing this one the entire game. Welly. Now Brody Crine. Brody goes puck protection. Sends over the wing to Bennett Tilke. Benny trying to move it out, and he clears it out to neutral ice. As Zach Pierce is on, as is Cullen Alt. Puck played into the high slot area. Zach Pierce will take it away. It's picked up by Tilke. Here's Bennett Tilke. He'll send it in. Chase Johnson out defensively along with Brant Sherman. Otters trail 4-0. Cullen Alt digs it out of the corner. Mullen had it momentarily. Centering pass for Ackerman. Ackerman gets around Brant Sherman. Ackerman walks in. Shot save made. Juicy rebound. Puck is loose. Stenstrom has it between his legs. When you're a goalie, sit down and put your legs together. He had it there. So Stenstrom with the save. He stopped 43 of 47. Face off to be the left of Holden Stenstrom. Played pretty well here tonight. Very well, actually. 43 out of 47. Here's Zach Pierce on the faceoff. Wins the draw. Minneapolis won that one. Shot save. Stenstrom over to the corner. Corbin Profit tried to move it out, but it's kept in by Minneapolis. Played back behind Stenstrom. Brant Sherman took a swipe at it. Evaded a hit. Chase Johnson behind the net. Chase with the puck. Out to Corbin Profit. Try to get it to Cullen Alt. That's going to be picked off by Schroet. And it's played in behind Stenstrom. 5:22 to play in the game. Otters trail in this one by a score 4-0. Out to the point. Shot there through traffic. Missed wide right of the net. Off the stick of number 33, Oliver Kutzer. Here comes Luke Johnson. Out to Cullen Alt. Drops it for Luke. Johnson over the line. Walks in. Sends it into the corner. Here comes Caden Zender as well. Puck out to the near side. Now Chase Johnson gets a swipe at it. Zender will pick it up. Here's Caden with it now. Sends it ahead, but a little too late. Had Luke stretching the ice. Picked up there by Zender. Zender through traffic. Blows a tire. Might have got tripped up. 4.5 minutes to play. Otters trail 4-0. Puck over to the far side. Much better period here of hockey for the Otters. Still down though 4-0, being outshot significantly in this one. Near side, Brad Sherman trying to get after it. Sherman battling. Poke checked away from him. Welly puts a hit on his man. Battle behind the net. Gotta love all the guys standing behind the JV players and youth hockey players, other football players kind of cheering on the Otters. Otters trail by a score of 4-0. And they blow a whistle. There was a stalemate there. Every so often they do that. 4-0 is the score here in favor of Minneapolis. North Dakota now leads Bemidji 2-1 midway through the second period. Gophers not playing tonight, huh? Off the face-off, Otters win it. Here's Brody Crine. Brody will skate it up, gives it off to Nolan Wadel. Wadel turns it over. Christensen, high slot, good poke check by Tanner Donahue and Brody Crine. Sent over to the far corner, tap back out to the near side. Benetilke will tap it out to neutral ice. After it now is Wilson Lamberty. Benetilke picks off a pass. And Christensen after the puck. Good job by Zach Pierce. Good stick by Zach. Comes out to neutral ice. Ortiz with it. Donahue sends it. And that's going to be an icing call against Fergus Falls. So an icing call on the Otters here with 3:05 to play. Can the Otters trail in this one by a score of 4-0. So Minneapolis badly out shooting the Otters in this one, 48-7. Don't want to dwell on that, but it's been a dominant performance here by Minneapolis. Face-off one. Shot there. Save made by Stenstrom. Picked up by Corbin Profit. He blew a tire over there along the wall. Picked up by Ackerman. Centering pass. Comes to the near side. Picked up by Colin Alt. And he blew a tire. And so, and here comes Minneapolis back the other direction. Good speed that time by Theo Gustin. Good physical game here. And then we're going to have a penalty here on Fergus Falls. And let's see if it's going to be on Brant Sherman or if it's going to be on Theo Gustin. It's going to be on both of them maybe. Nope, it's going to be on Brant. So Minneapolis will go on the power play here. So Fergus Falls penalty on Brant Sherman at 14:29 of the period. Elbowing call. Or holding, pardon me. And so Luke Johnson will take the draw here for the Otters. Draws one by Minneapolis. Minneapolis on the power play. Milo Black. Lamberty. Shot blocked by Tanner Donahue. Tanner tried to ring the boards, but not out. Brody Crine chips it. Kept in by Black. He's bumped off the puck by Stender. Shot over the top of the net. Kind of a juicy rebound. Brody Crine after it. Battle there. Luke Johnson got a stick on the pass out to the point. Shot there. Good job. Tanner Donahue levels his man. Here comes Black with a shot. That hit traffic. Zender after it. Pitchforks it out of there. Good job by Caden. Good penalty kill. Better third period here by Fergus Falls. Minute 37 to play in the hockey game. A minute 4 on the penalty to Brant Sherman. Minute 28 again to play, and in the hockey Otters trail by a score of 4-0. Here's Milo Black, down low to Ackerman. Ackerman tried to send it to the far corner. Picked up there by DeYoung. He's pinned up there by Chase Johnson. There's a shot and a save made by Stenstrom. Diving to his left. He was way to his right, dove way to his left, and made the save. And Holden's had a really good second and third period. There's Luke Johnson on the draw for the Otters. It's going to be won by Minneapolis. Comes out to the near side to Christensen on the right point. The umbrella, 3 high, 2 low. Shot there, save made by Stenstrom. Good job by Brody Crine clearing out in front of the goalie. I like to see that. 1 minute to play in the hockey game. 4-0 here in favor of Minneapolis. Face-off be to the right of Stenstrom. Here's Luke Johnson on the draw. For Fergus Falls. Be won by Minneapolis. Near side. Kutzer out high to Christensen. One-timer blocked there by Luke Warner. And then Stenstrom gets on top of that puck. Good job by Luke Warner dropping that, blocking that one. So a good job by Warner seeing some ice here late on. 48.5 seconds to go here in the hockey game. And Luke Johnson will take the draw here against Henry Franson. And here comes the draw right below us. Off the face-off. Controlled by Minneapolis. On the corner, good hit by Zender. Puck pops out to the near side. Luke Johnson against Christensen. Battling. Zender went to hit him, and he hit his own guy. Christensen with a shot. Luke Johnson will try to tap it forward and does so. Here's Luke with a puck right below us here. He'll battle hard. It's been a battle here. McGovern out also for the Otters, I believe. 13 seconds to go. Here's Bennett Tilke. Near side, 5 seconds left. Shot there, up into the corner with 0.5 seconds to go. And that is it was like a minute and a half left, and he was late on the clock. And then you still got to finish the game here. And so, yeah, there was 1.5 seconds of the late clock, and then they let it run off. So, all right, that'll do it here. The Otters lose it by a score of 4-0. And 54 shots on goal, 50 saves for Holden Stenstrom here tonight. 4-0. The Otters lose it, but they get outshot 54-7 in this one. And this will be one to look at some film at, but to look at a good Minneapolis team. Again, they lost in the section finals last year to Orono, and so this is a team to kind of be reckoned with down the road. So our post-game show begins after this break. Otters lose it by a score of 4-0.
The Chevy Red Tag sales event has arrived at Minnesota Motor Company in Fergus Falls. You can take advantage of savings of up to $10,000 on the Chevy Silverado or great financing offers like 2.9% APR for 72 months. Contact the sales team at Minnesota Motor Company for details. Customer must take delivery by December 1st. Chevy, together, let's drive.
Minnesota Motor.
South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
Make OSPTI your choice for outpatient rehabilitation and sports injuries with locations in Fergus Falls and Breckenridge. Orthopedic and sports physical therapy is the right choice for your recovery. Live your best life. Trust the experts at OSPTI.
Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's has a way better option than some overprocessed junk from the back of your freezer. They've got take and bake meals made fresh with real ingredients, and all you have to do is stick it in the oven. Fresh and Fancy, saving moms one dinner at a time.
At Fergus Falls Monument Company, Ryan and Mike want you to design a personal memorial for your loved one that will fully express your personal sentiment and that of your loved one. Fergus Falls Monument on Pebble Lake Road, online, foreverstonememorials.com.
Between practices, games, and late-night drives, who's got time to grocery shop? With Instacart from Service Food in Fergus Falls, order online and your groceries are ready for delivery. So you can cheer louder, not shop longer. Service Food of Fergus Falls.
Need custom tees, hats, or uniforms? Let Lake Country Graphics bring your brand to life with top quality screen printing and embroidery. Located on North Union Avenue in Fergus Falls. Call 998-4027 today.
Here's to a great season for all our favorite high school athletes. American Legion is a favorite too and serves up everyone's favorite barbecued ribs. American Legion of Fergus Falls, open each Wednesday through Saturday on Pebble Lake Road in Fergus Falls.
Mark Johnson back with you at the Fergus Falls Community Ice Arena. The Otters lose it by a score of 4-0 on the Park Region telephone scoreboard. And again, it was a dominant performance by Minneapolis in this one. There's no question about that. Let's recap the scoring. In the first period, Minneapolis gets on the board at 5:08 of the first period, and it was the first of the year for number 21, Bodie Hain, with an assist going to the sophomore defenseman, Wilson Lamberty. That made the score 1-0 Minneapolis. Minneapolis then comes back, and they get one at about 3 minutes later at 8:03 of the period, and that was scored by number 3, Judd Hansen, his first of the year, with an assist going to Emmett Anderson. 2-0. Shots were 13-4 in favor of Minneapolis at that point in time. Into the second period then, and Minneapolis continued their strong play and I would say dominant performance as number 5, Will Ackerman, gets his second of the year, and assist going to Emmett Anderson, his second of the game. And then the shots again after 2 periods of play, and there was some real separation here, 32-7 in favor of Minneapolis. And then Minneapolis comes back, and they score one at 5:28 of the third, but it was a much better third period for Fergus Falls. There's no question about that. Very physical period. The Otters didn't muster any more offense, but they really played a lot harder game, and just really stood up to this physical Minneapolis team. And it was 1 goal in that period, the third of the year for Will Ackerman, and that was assisted by Jaden Boyce and number 15, Ryan Mullen. Again, the shots on goal 54-7 in favor of the of Minneapolis. And so I want to always figure out what their mascot is, but they don't have one. I was talking to their head coach, with 7 schools going together for one team, how do you agree on a mascot? So head coach Mike Donahue's making his way here, and then we'll take one more break, and we'll name our quality player of the game. And again, tomorrow it will be the Lady Otters taking on Minnesota River, and that is a 3 o'clock puck drop on AM 1250 KBRF with a 2:45 pregame show. Head coach Mike Donahue joining me for the post-game show, and I'll give you a chance to catch your breath here, Mike. But just looking at this hockey game here today, that was a good Minneapolis team, and you got to really come to play against a good team. They were very good, really good on the blue line, weren't they?
Yeah, they good skill, good speed, good strength, and and good depth. They came out and they played well in all 3 zones. I thought the neutral zone was probably the biggest difference in that hockey game. We did not defend very well through the neutral zone. We gave them a lot of time and space. And on the flip side, we didn't have a lot of room to make plays through there to be able to attack their D. Made an adjustment going into the third period. I thought the little neutral zone adjustment, I thought it showed. We slowed them down a little bit coming through there. So those are some good things that we can take and make a mid-game adjustment like that, something completely different than we've been working on, and they were able to implement it pretty well.
That's one thing I noticed, in the third period. I know we didn't generate the offense we needed, but we really played hard. We stood up, and you saw some physical play. We still have fire in our belly in the third period.
Yeah, we need to start the game that way, though. It's we had kind of a slow start down in Marshall as well. Then we came out, and Minneapolis did a good job putting us back on our heels a little bit. So those are just some things we need to take away from this hockey game, and the previous game. That when that puck drops, we better have our skates laced up and ready to go.
And Holden, I know a couple of the first goals, there may be some rebounds and things, but he really, he made 50 saves tonight. You know what I mean? And he really stood tall for us.
Yeah, he did. He did a tremendous job. He's going to be giving us a chance game in and game out. So we need to find some ways to play better. We didn't do a very good job exiting our zone. We got to work on our wing play a little bit. We had some errant passes from our D where I thought we had some time and space to make good outlets for our guys to be able to make some plays. And for whatever reason, they just weren't going tonight. They weren't happening, and it's one of those games. And when you play a team that pressures you like that, you have a tendency to get your eyes up a little bit quicker and maybe not make that play. So once again, it was a great team. I loved the way that Minneapolis played a great style. They pressured us, and we're just a really good opponent.
All right, Mike, so we turn our page to St. Cloud now next week on Tuesday, but you get some game film now and some things to look at, and it's a growing process, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. We got a lot of new faces, a lot of new things for these guys, and just because guys played for us last year, we try to change and tweak things a little bit as we continue to move forward and try to find some strengths of our team and see how we can play to those strengths as well.
All right, Mike, we'll turn the page, and thanks for joining me tonight. And again, we'll get going next week.
Yeah, all right. Thanks, Mark.
Mike Donahue, head coach of the Otters. Again, the Otters lose it 4-0. We'll come back with our quality player of the game after this break.
The 2025 model year closeout pricing has arrived at Minnesota Motor Company in Fergus Falls. They have just a handful of new 2025 Chevy and Buick vehicles remaining, and all of them are at their lowest prices of the year. From the Chevy Blazer to the Buick Enclave, you won't want to miss out on these great deals. Contact the sales team for more information.
Minnesota Motor.
South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
Here's to a great season for all our favorite high school athletes. American Legion is a favorite too and serves up everyone's favorite barbecued ribs. American Legion of Fergus Falls, open each Wednesday through Saturday on Pebble Lake Road in Fergus Falls.
Here we're back. It's now time to name our Quality Toyota Quality Player of the Game, brought to you by Quality Toyota and Lake Country Graphics. For screen printing and embroidery on custom apparel, the best in personal service around, contact Lake Country Graphics at 1223 North Union Avenue or call them at 998-4027. Our quality player of the game tonight is going to be senior goaltender Holden Stenstrom. He stopped 50 of 54 shots. It could have been even a different score tonight, but Holden did a great job in net here. So he is our quality player of the game. Don't forget, tomorrow afternoon, we have Lady Otter hockey on the air as the Otters take on Minnesota River. That's a 3 o'clock puck drop, 2:45 pregame show on AM 1250, also streamed on the Fergus Now app and on the KBRF Radio YouTube channel. Don't forget about the Coaches Show tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock on our streaming services and also on AM 1250 KBRF. And thanks to Dave Bishop, our game site engineer. That'll do it for me, Mark Johnson. The Otters lose it on our Park Region scoreboard 4-0. Park Region service beyond the connection. Good night, everyone.
Thank you for joining us for a special KBRF Sports video streaming presentation. Today's game is brought to you by the Minnesota Motor Company and your Minnesota Motor Company halftime show, Lake Region Healthcare and your Lake Region Healthcare timeout, Park Region and your Park Region scoreboard, Nelson Auto Center and your Nelson starting lineups, Quality Toyota and your Quality Toyota player of the game, the Viking Cafe and the Viking Cafe keys to the game, Orthopedic Sports and Physical Therapies Incorporated, Fergus Falls Monument, Otter Tail Coaches, Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's, FM Bank, Service Food, Ugstead Plumbing and Heating, Splash Express, American Legion Post number 30 of Fergus Falls, Lake Country Graphics, LB Homes, and by Running Stitches Embroidery. We hope you enjoyed this KBRF video sports streaming presentation. You can see this game and others by going to KBRFradio.com, clicking on sports streaming, the KBRF Radio YouTube page, and on the Fergus Now app.